Hey TruKids, and welcome to this week's online experience. My name is Robin and I am so excited for us to do part 7 of our series Blueprints today. So, in the world of construction, things can get pretty serious. You have to make sure that everyone pays attention to their materials, blueprints, and many other details. But just so that nothing gets too serious around here, I like to bring the fun. And one great way to have fun is to sing songs to Jesus. So let's kick it off now by standing and singing together.
You know when I'm lonely, you know when I'm sad, I know, and then you are with me, yeah, you are with me. You know when I'm worried, you know when I'm mad, I know, and then I can trust you, yeah, I can trust you. You don't want perfection, you just want my best. And when my mind is racing, you will give me rest. God is greater, greater than my feelings. He knows everything, He knows everything. God is greater, greater than my feelings. He knows everything, He knows everything. You know when I'm lonely, you know when I'm sad, I know, and then you are with me, yeah, you are with me. You know when I'm worried, you know when I'm mad, I know, and then I can trust you, yeah, I can trust you. You don't want perfection, you just want my best. And when my mind is racing, you will give me rest. God is greater, greater than my feelings. He knows everything, He knows everything. God is greater, greater than my feelings. He knows everything, He knows everything.
You are greater than all I feel. You know it all and you always will. I trust in you with all that I've got. Doesn't even matter if I feel it or not. You are greater than all I feel. You know it all and you always will. I trust in you with all that I've got. Doesn't even matter if I feel it or not.
God is greater, greater than my feelings. He knows everything, He knows everything. God is greater, greater than my feelings. He knows everything, He knows everything.
You sounded great. That song always helps me know how to deal with how I'm feeling, which is what this series is all about. We're talking about feelings because God gave us lots of different emotions and He wants us to learn how to use them in the right way. So we've already discussed how important it is to stop, to look, and to listen when these feelings creep up. And in just a bit, we'll get a chance to practice. But for now, I want you to watch this clip and check out what my friends Skip and Susanna are up to this week.
Oh, hey Skip, that's a nice looking chair you're building.
Thanks, I'm feeling like I'm pretty much an expert.
Oh, speaking of experts, there's a new builder featured in this magazine I'm reading. I've got to show you. His name is Luke Bradmore, and he's built 10 chairs almost just like yours. Honestly, his are so cool. You know, I bet there's a lot you can learn from him. Here, I think Luke Bradmore explains how to be an expert carpenter right there. Take a look.
Expert carpenter, huh? Let's see this.
Okay, well, happy reading. I've got a lot to get done. Can't wait to see what the chair looks like when you've learned a thing or two from good old Luke. See you later, Skip.
Okay. Expert? What does she know? I mean, we've worked together for years. How could she? How dare she? And Who is this Luke guy anyway? I mean, I'm the best builder in town! Blah, blah, blah. So much to learn from that guy. Blah, blah, blah. Skip, his chairs are so cool. Blah, blah, blah. Luke Bradmore? More like Luke, bad at his job more. Him and his perfect chair building makes me so angry. So what if he's in some silly magazine? Like he knows anything. Ugh! I'll make this so great, it won't just be in the magazine, it'll be on the cover. Or maybe just the back page.
Oh, Skip. His emotions are always up to something. And today it looks like he let his emotions get the best of him. But that probably wouldn't have happened if Skip would have stopped. Stopping helps us to slow down and to name what we're really feeling. This is so important because when we're all wrapped up in our emotions, things can seem worse than what they actually are. Way worse than what they actually are. And if we're not careful, we might make decisions that we can't undo. So let's practice stopping and giving our feelings a name. As you can see, there are emojis on the screen. We're going to pick out which emotions we just saw Skip have by making faces like those emojis. So on the count of 3, I want everyone to guess which emotions you saw in the video by making a face like those emojis. 1, 2, 3. Wow, I'm sure that there were loads of different emotions on your faces. Now I'm going to show you the correct answer. Yes, we saw Skip feeling so angry about something Susanna had said. He was so angry that he kept messing up his projects and he even ended up hurting himself. He couldn't focus on the work he needed to do because his anger got the best of him. Anyone here ever been so angry about something that someone else said or did? Me too. But when we don't take the time to deal with those feelings of anger, just like Skip, we may end up doing or saying something that hurt others or ourselves. Like when Skip called Luke Bradmore mean names or when he hit himself with his hammer. That's why we have to stop and deal with how we feel. One way to do this is to take a break, walk away for a minute, and come back when we have some more self-control. And when dealing with what we're feeling, step 2 is also important. Looking helps us to see what's really going on. Skip was so mad at what Susanna said that he let it mess up all the good work that he was doing in the shop. He just needed to look around to see that even though what Susanna said may have hurt him, he is still a good builder and he didn't have to let her words ruin his day. When we're feeling angry, we also need to follow step 3. So who remembers what step 3 is? Well, if you guessed listen, then you would be right because it is listen. Listening to what God says is very important when dealing with how we feel, especially when we're feeling angry. When I find myself letting anger take control of my thoughts and actions, I always go to my blueprint for life, the Bible. It helps me to remember the truth. And in the story we're about to hear, we'll find out about a guy who had some people saying some seriously mean things to him. But let's take a look at what he chose to do about it.
Hey everybody, listen up! Here's what God has to say.
Aw, yeah. What you got for us today?
Well, have you ever been so angry with someone that you wanted to get revenge?
Oh, yeah. Like when my skateboard got stolen last year. I wanted to find out who it was and make them pay.
And what happens when you feel this way?
My insides start to boil, and I feel like I want to explode!
That's exactly what we're talking about today.
Explosions?
More like how to avoid feeling that way. Today we're going to talk about anger and how we can diffuse the anger bomb with self-control.
I see what you did there.
Clever, I know. Anyways, there's a book in the Bible called Nehemiah, and it's all about a guy named Nehemiah.
So what's Nehemiah got to be angry about? He's got a whole book named after him.
He actually had a lot of reasons why he could have been angry. You see, Nehemiah had gotten some really bad news. The wall in his hometown of Jerusalem had been torn down, and the gates were burned with fire. This meant that all of their enemies were able to sneak in and take whatever they wanted.
Okay, that's something to be angry about for sure.
Nehemiah prayed to God and decided to rush back home to Jerusalem to help rebuild the wall. He knew he couldn't do it alone, so he rallied everyone in the town to come help.
Can we rebuild it? Yes, we can!
Here's the problem. There were lots of mean people who did not want to see the wall go back up. One of them was named Sanballat.
Wait, there was a guy named Sanddollar?
No, Sanballat.
Oh, gotcha, Sandcastle.
No, Sanballat. Anyways, Sanballat had all sorts of mean things to say to Nehemiah.
Oh, and I bet Nehemiah had some mean things to say right back to him. Oh yeah, well...
Actually, Nehemiah didn't say anything mean back to him. He prayed to God and kept working. Sanballat did not like this and got more people to make fun of everyone who was working on the wall. Sanballat and his gang even threatened to kill the workers.
I bet that made Nehemiah turn so green. Oh, smash!
Not quite. Instead of fighting back, he asked God to deal with the people who were making him angry. God helped Nehemiah have self-control. And even though he was bullied and had lots of reasons to be angry or get revenge, he stayed focused on God's help and rebuilt the wall in record time.
Wait a second. Nehemiah found out the wall was torn down, he was made fun of, his life was even threatened, and even though he may have been angry, he was able to stay calm and have self-control?
Yep, that's exactly right. You see, we'll all experience anger, but it's what we do when we are angry that can help or hurt the situation.
So, when I don't get what I want, or if someone makes fun of me, I might get angry, but it's how I respond that makes a huge difference.
That's right.
Or if someone is angry with me, I don't have to be angry back at them.
You got it. When we feel anger creeping in, God will give us self-control.
As you saw from that true story, those guys were saying some awful things to Nehemiah, and it made him mad. But Nehemiah didn't let his anger get out of control. Instead, he focused on what God had told him to do, and he kept working. When we're feeling angry, we need to come up with a plan to deal with that anger. One way we can deal is to stop and take a break. Then we can look at what's going on around us to see that we don't have to say or do things to hurt others. Because when we listen to the truth, we'll remember that God gives us self-control. Whenever you're feeling angry, God gives you the self-control you need to do what's right. And that's what we need to know today. So everyone, say this with me. When I feel angry, God gives me self-control. Let's say it one more time. When I feel angry, God gives me self-control. That's right. When we feel angry, we can remember Nehemiah's story and know that just like God gave him the self-control to keep working and not let his anger get the best of him, God does the same thing for us when we're feeling angry. All right, you guys, if I were to stop right now, I would be able to name my feeling as super excited to sing our next song. So stand up and sing along.
When I don't know what to with all my mind and strength. Will you show me, God, to love like you love me, so all the world will see? When things don't go my way, I'll talk to you, hear what you say, that's what I do. That's loving you. When my world is upside down, I'll trust that you'll turn it around, that's what I do. That's loving you. I will love you, God, with all my heart and soul, with all my mind and strength. Will you show me, God, to love like you love me, so all the world will see? I will love you, God, with all my heart and soul, with all my mind and strength. Will you show me, God, to love like you love me, so all the world will see?
You guys are sounding more and more awesome each week. But before you go, let's bow our heads, close our eyes, and pray together. God, we thank you for giving us self-control when we feel angry. Help us remember to stop, look, and listen before our anger gets out of control, and to ask you for forgiveness if we let it get the best of us. We love you. Amen. All right, you guys, I have some kind of sad news. Next week is gonna be our last episode of Blueprints. But what's really cool about ending a series is that we always have the opportunity to start a new one. So do not miss next week's episode of Blueprints.
Yes.